Welcome to Half Pitch Fun Fly, a classic British fun fly event in Gloucestershire, and the smaller sibling of the much loved Full Pitch Fun Fly. Before we begin, let's go back to the week before this awesome event. With the weekend fast approaching, the weather was looking rather grim and many of the attendees were worried about the event possibly being cancelled. The forecast featured warnings of a large storm approaching, promising winds, rain and even thunder, much to our dismay. Nevertheless, we prepared for the worst, with our fingers crossed. With the arrival of Friday, things weren't looking the best, to put it lightly. The gates of heaven had opened, and a cataclysmic amount of water rained from the sky, accompanied by violent thunder and lightning. Despite the awful start to Friday, by the evening, the clouds had moved past, leaving relatively clear skies. I must admit, the view we had of the storm on the other hill from our event grounds was quite spectacular. Cue Saturday. By the morning, the weather was like any other day here in the UK, and flights began. Many people showed up, despite the worrying forecast for the next 2 days, and by midday there were about 30 pilots. The atmosphere was excellent as always, with pilots giving one another friendly advice on helis, brands and manoeuvres alike. Did you enjoy the weekend overall?
Yeah, it's awesome. The best thing is having a few drinks with friends at the end, I think. Yeah, no, the flying has been great, and weather was good yesterday. Wasn't expecting that, so yeah, it was good to get some flights in, meet a whole lot of, we don't call them friends, we call them family, and that's what they mean a lot to us. So there's a lot of people we know in the community, and events like this are really important because it gets us all together, and yeah, and it's really nice just to be one part of family and spend time together and just share a hobby that we all love, really.
Compared to Full Pitch Fun Fly, did you guys, what have you noticed that's different?
Well, it's a smaller event. Obviously, we don't do, the raffle. We don't do, the golden hour, which is always fun. But maybe it's a little bit cheaper not doing the golden hour because we don't have so much carnage. But yeah, no, it's good. I mean, the thing is, we're coming to this time of the year where weather is difficult in the UK. and you never know what it's going to be like, but when it turns out quite nice and spend time with friends, it's really good. So
he's kind of covered every area, isn't he?
Anything you'd like to add?
No, it's brilliant. It follows the same sort of vibe as full pitch, obviously on a smaller scale because we don't have a lot of the things that Dad mentioned, but it's still just great to get out and see everyone. It's coming towards the end of the season now, so I think everyone's sort of like a bit knackered from the year with all the comps and events and everything, so this is our like sort of last but one chance to sort of chill out and hang out again before we all close to the winter season.
Yeah, it's a wind down because there's a lot of events. A wind down because a lot of the events in the year with competitions and all that, sometimes they're a bit high pressured. Even though you've been doing it a long time, the pressure's still on, especially for him. But I feel it too, even when I'm not competing. So it is nice to do some of these events which are chilled, relaxed. There's no competition element. It's just enjoy, spend a good time with heli family.
Yeah.
A plethora of helis could be seen at the event with OMPs, Goose Guys, XLs, and many other quality brands lining the field.
It is a legend. It's so cool. Gold Curtis Youngblood.
All 3 flight stations were full most of the time with pilots of all skill levels and ages, from young to elderly. This event is also where we received our Goose Sky E2. If you would like to take a look at that video, it's linked in the description and also here. Even into the afternoon and evening, pilots continued their flights at all flight stations whilst beginning to relax for the end of the day. The spirits were still high, especially after a drink or two, but as the sun began to set, many pilots made their leave. probably quite a few times you've been at Half Pitch so far. Do you like the event overall?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, great people, great friends, and yeah, it's good to support the event.
And were you happy with this particular Half Pitch, if we ignore the weather, of course?
Yeah, absolutely. It went really well. There was a good turnout yesterday. Everyone was having fun, so it's always a good event, always amazing event.
Will you be attending next time?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, try and support it as much as I can. It's good for the hobby.
Sunday was much quieter, with the pilots that remained sharing conversations before heading on their way home. And by the early afternoon, the event had wrapped up once more. All in all, Half Pitch Funfly was an excellent event and an awesome way to begin dialing it down for the end of the season. The atmosphere was phenomenal as usual, thanks to the amazing organisation of the event, with the usual good food, warm fire and fuel supplied by Rob the Farmer. I definitely had fun, and I'll be back for the next one. But until then, thank you and goodbye.